everybody? Mr. The Fanboy here. I haven't done a video in a long time. This is my review of the Cruiserweight Classic finale, which I think aired yesterday. Someone was nice enough to upload it to YouTube for me, so I watched it there. And as you can see by the title, this show was pretty awesome. This is my review of the Cruiserweight Classic finale and my short rant on WWE. This short rant on WWE will be the lead in to a much longer rant on WWE I'm gonna do much later. But this is my review of the Cruiserweight Classic. Brief history before I get into this review. Ever since the Cruiserweight Classic was announced, I was actually mixed towards it. Half of me was excited and the other half of me was disappointed. I was excited because I get to see all of these wrestlers from the independent circuit on a big stage, and some wrestlers like T.J. Perkins, who was recently fired from TNA. I get to see him wrestle. I get to see him wrestle again. T.J. Perkins and Zack Sabre Jr. were pretty much my picks, and my favorites to win um this tournament. This tournament. The downside and disappointment side to this was WWE using this tournament to once again raid the indies. I'm sick of WWE raiding the indies, TNA, everywhere else, and I'm sick of wrestlers signing with that company. So that was what I did like. That's what I didn't like about it. The only person I would have wanted to see in WWE was Perkins. Because I wanted him to be. I wanted Perkins, Mandrews, Tigre Uno, and Rockstar Spud to rule the X division, to be the faces and top stars of the X division in TNA. And I was usually angry when TNA let Perkins go. So I'm happy to see him get another chance here in WWE. He's the only one I wouldn't mind WWE signing. I wouldn't have a problem with this. I wouldn't have a problem with this if it was like TNA. In TNA, Mandrews, Drew Galloway, and Grotto, they wrestle for the British wrestling promotions, but they also wrestle for TNA simultaneously. Whereas in WWE, the stars, they're not the wrestlers in this Cruiserweight Championship series. They're allowed to compete. They're allowed to wrestle for other organizations during this tournament. But a winner is but once a winner was crowned, no, they had to sign a contract, which explains Zack Gaber and Metallic, the Luchador, losing because they refused to sign contracts with WWE. But like I said, this Cruiserweight Championship Series has been actually the best thing about WWE recently. Raw, SmackDown, NXT are just garbage. Pay-per-views are just average at best. And this Cruiserweight Championship Series is the best. It's similar to the Super J Cup tournaments from the '90s and the current Lucha Libre Cup going on. Still going on today. The Lucha Libre Cup, produced by the AAA promotion, that which still goes on today. I love these. A cool tournament featuring nothing but fast paced, exciting, pure wrestling action versus the boring action we see on Raw and SmackDown. The horrible, offensive characters. No horrible, offensive characters or lame storylines. Just kick-ass wrestling and crowning one champion. And the cruiserweight division may be the only thing maybe the only thing remotely watchable in WWE today. Yeah, this Cruiserweight Championship Series. This is just a review of the finale. I may rewatch the rest of the series and review it. I'm definitely going to talk about it more in my year-end wrestling review. But right now, let's get started with this review. The first semifinals match was between the Luchador Metallic, representing the CMLL promotion, versus Jr., Zack Sabre Jr. This was an awesome, phenomenal match to start the show. Great, great clash of styles in this match. You had the Lucha Libre style of Metallic versus the British wrestling style of Zack Sabre, which combines traditional catch-as-can wrestling with strong style fighting style wrestling seen by the New Japan and the Japanese wrestling promotions. This was, like I said, this was a phenomenal match. Much to my surprise, Zack Sabre lost, but that was because he refused to sign the contract, which like I said, is good. It sucks to see him lose here, but is good because he can go back to the British wrestling promotions. He doesn't have to sign. He's not signing with WWE, which is what I didn't want. I just wanted him in this tournament. I didn't want him to be a part of WWE, to be a part of WWE. So yeah, that was good. Then of course um so yeah, Metallic won with the Metallic Driver, defeated Zack Sabre Jr. The Metallic Driver to advance. I'm only going to be talking about the tournament matches. The tag team match between Cedric Alexander and his partner, and Tommaso Ciampa and Jardy Gargano. I'm not talking about that. I don't care much. I didn't care much for that. Then of course you had the next match of the night was T.J. Perkins, one of my favorites to win besides Zack Sabre, versus versus Kato, the Japanese wrestler Kato Ibushi. I think that's his name. Yeah, Kota Ibushi. Like I said, this right here, this was a phenomenal match, and this right here was probably match of the night, man. This right here match of the night. It was just back and forth, man. It was just back and forth. Wasn't sure who um was gonna win. Yeah, by the way, I stayed off the results until after this show, until after the series, because I wanted to be surprised. So I stayed off of the Wikipedia results and the websites until after this match was done. And it was just back and forth, and Perkins 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 won the match with his knee bar slash crossface submission like maneuver, which forced Ibuki to tap. Love the show of respect. Love the show of respect and shaking hands after the code of honor scene after the match was over. Missed that in wrestling. Missed that in wrestling. Next is like I said, I'm skipping the tag team match. The tag team match between Jardy Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa versus Cedric Alexander and his tag team partner, and his tag team partner. And the main event, the finals, was between Perkins and Grand Metalik. Before the match, Triple H came out to introduce the final match and introduce the new belt design. Really don't care much for the new belt design. It's the wrestler, in my opinion, who makes the belt. It's the wrestler who makes the belt. And once again, this was another awesome match to close the show. To close the show. T.J. Perkins, after a long hard fought, beat Metallic once again with the same submission maneuver he used to defeat Ibushi in the previous match, and he did this to become the first ever WWE Cruiserweight champion since the belt was retired in 2007. And now, like I said, I think this is awesome. T.J. Perkins was one of my favorites to win. I loved his promo after the match. I'm happy to see him get another chance here after being fired from TNA. And he's probably the only thing. That will probably save WWE, or at least make WWE watchable, because nothing else on WWE television right now entertains me, which I'm going to talk about in my much longer WWE rant. But like I said, this Cruiserweight Championship Series has been the best thing WWE has done all year. All year. Me, the biggest WWE hater, is actually going to praise WWE. You can't see, but I'm clapping. You can probably hear when I'm clapping. This right here, this entire tournament from beginning to end was awesome. Having all these wrestlers from all around the world meet in one tournament similar to the Super J Cup from the 90s and the Lucha Libre Cup in the Triple A, featured in the AAA promotion. Like I said, with that being said, like I said, awesome show. All right, I'm done.